Yeah, that's
Hey everybody, I'm Dee Lisa. I'm the dream doula for women. I help them live their best life.
and I am Cristina Spataro. I'm the psychotherapist and relationship coach. I help you live your best life and improve your relationships and communication.
And I'm on the West Coast and Christina's on the East Coast. And here we are connected by the power of the Zoom universe, the Zoomiverse.
Yes.
Oh, and I was just talking before we hit record, and the whole concept of I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. When I was younger, I used to say all the time, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And actually, if I look back on it, I was not doing anything important.
Mhm.
I was starting out a business and I was running around doing these things. I was not creating wealth. I was not creating clients. I was not doing the thing. I was doing things that were keeping me busy. And when I look back on it, I was just pretending to do something to get away from what I really needed to do, which was, I thought it's
Mm.
painful for me. I didn't want to. I didn't really want to do the things that were important. So I did the things that took a
Mhm.
lot of time. And then at the end of the day, I was so tired, so
Mhm.
tired. So let's talk about how you can get out of that um, nightmare dream of thinking you're so busy you can't even do what you want to do.
Well, this is the key because sometimes the things we think we want to do actually scare us. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm too busy to go out there and try to find a relationship. I'm too
Mhm.
busy to go out there and find a new job because I'm unhappy with the one I'm currently in. I'm too busy to look for a new apartment even though I'm unhappy where I am. So a lot of times when change scares people, they would rather stay in a situation that is uncomfortable than change. But when the pain of change is less than the pain of where you are, then you will make that move. So the question is, what are you avoiding by being busy?
Ooh, ooh, what are you avoiding? Reverend Michael Beckwith says it very similar to what you just said, is the pain will be pushed by our pain until we're pulled by our vision. So
Yes.
imagine the vision is the life that you would love to live, the things that you would
Mhm.
love to do, the job that you would love to go to, the relationship you would be so happy to be in. Those things might be pulling you, but if where you are isn't painful enough to push you out of it,
Mhm.
as humans, we are comfortable being uncomfortable
Yes.
because we know what is going to happen next. We know
Yes.
that we think is kind of boring. We know exactly what's going to happen when we go to work, who we're going to talk to, what it's going to be like,
Mhm.
how much money we'll get paid at the end of the week. We comfortable in that uncomfortableness because it's predictable.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. We're uncomfortable in that uncomfortableness because it's predictable. Because think about it, when you change, you don't know where the pitfalls are. You don't know where the landmines are. So there is a comfort in the knowing.
Yes, yes. Because to go out of where this life you're in right now, even though you might not love it, to get out of that routine, to get out of that job or relationship or apartment or whatever it
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
it's the great unknown.
Yes, it is.
So what's going to happen next? I don't know. Maybe something
Mhm.
amazing.
Maybe something absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But I think most people think, oh, something bad's going to happen. Don't do
Right.
that.
Right. Because
Uh-huh.
most people, the thing is, especially if people, because I deal with a lot of clients who suffered trauma.
Uh-huh.
So when you've had a lot of trauma in your life and you've had a lot of bad things happen, it's hard for you to believe the next thing is actually going to be something good. However, the likelihood of the good it's just as likely as the bad. So why not envision you might actually have good? And usually what we envision as worst case scenario is worse than what can actually happen.
Oh, I've been talking about that quite a lot lately. It's like when you are worrying, you are tripping out on what might happen in the future. Future tripping.
Mhm.
One of my coaching friends calls it. So you're future tripping on some catastrophe that might happen in the future if you do
Mhm.
this or that. And so then
Right.
you're like, no, don't do it. But really, if we all think back on all of those things that we've done in life where we thought something really bad would happen,
Mhm.
did it?
Right.
Often, often it did not. I'd
Did
say
not.
80%, 90% of the time, we think something really bad is going to happen, and then we're pleasantly surprised that it did not.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, right after I had one of my daughters, my first daughter, I started really worrying about things like maybe I'll walk across the house and I'll trip and drop her. Or maybe
Mhm.
I'll go to the car and like I just kept thinking all these things that could happen that would be really bad. And it's like, well, I was so nervous and worried and sleep deprived. I didn't trip and drop her, none of those things I imagined in my mind happened. And at the time, I didn't know that I could do this trick. When you're
Mhm.
worrying and future
Mhm.
catastrophizing, you can say, oh, thank you, fear. I hear you.
Ah,
We're okay right now.
I like that. Thank you for the information. I hear you. We're okay right now.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Because in the middle of the fear, I mean, it's like palpable. You can feel it. You can
Oh
almost
yeah,
feel it. It's like,
absolutely.
and then you can just go, oh, yeah, you know what? And the people that work in your industry and do the family constellation thing, they would say there's a part of me that's really afraid.
Mhm.
So you can talk to that part of you that's
Mhm.
really afraid and say, thank you.
Right. I like it.
Thank you so much. And we got this. Everything's fine right now.
Absolutely.
Really, if you're worried and worried and worried about something, and then you look around like, is everything fine right now, this moment?
Yeah.
Usually, yes, usually
Yes.
everything's fine right now, this moment. You're
Mhm.
thinking, if this happens and that happens, it's not fine. And none of
Right.
that's happened yet. One of
Right.
my one of my clients had a therapist say to her, oh, honey, you've had such a terrible life. And most of it never happened.
I
Talking to
like
her
that.
about her worried, I mean, she's a very much a worrier.
Mm.
And yeah, that kind of woke her up to like, what, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. It's like, wow, what a terrible life you've had.
Yeah. Didn't actually happen, did it?
Most of it never happened.
Wow.
Mm.
And that is not to negate. Obviously, there's people who are watching and they've been through stuff and you've had bad experiences, but that does not have to define the rest of your life. And if you actually are going through a good cycle or season, that doesn't actually have to end. Because I know a lot of my clients fear that. Like if things are going well, they're like waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah,
The
when
sh-
is the other shoe going to drop? Where did that come from?
Mhm.
And so this bad thing happened to me once, or in the
Mhm.
past, bad things happened to me. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting ready for the next bad thing.
Exactly. Exactly. So there
What if
is
good
no
things happen?
right. What if good things happen? Because guess what? There is no limit on the good things that can come to you. And if
Mm,
you actually have it that mindset that some bad stuff's going to happen, but a lot of good stuff will too, it will actually help you better manage it. Because if all you see is a dark cloud, then all you're going to prepare for is rain.
that's really beautifully put. So how to be prepared for the good? Like imagine if any of us, because I do it too, I worry.
Oh, sure.
I've got thoughts in my mind of like something bad's going to happen. This might not work. This might not work. What would happen if you thought, what if it does work?
Mhm.
In fact, I think for some people that is their fear.
Oh yeah.
They're not afraid that things are not going to work out. They're afraid that things are going to work out and they won't be ready or it'll
Mhm.
be too much.
Or they'll get too used to it and then it won't last. And then they're going to be
Mm,
back to a bad place.
yeah. So how do you help people raise their set point? Because I think that everybody, like, we all know somebody who's like, wah, 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 my life is so bad. And they're constantly
Right.
talking about bad. And then we all know other people who are like, my life is amazing. This is so fun. And you're like, there's somewhere in between that we can kind
Somewhere
of,
in between. Because the difference between the person that really is like, oh, my life's horrible, and the person that says, my life's great, honestly, is perspective and mindset.
yeah.
It's really how are you looking at the things that are coming into your life? It's whether do you see the world as half the glass half empty or half full? It's still the same amount of liquid in the glass. But how are you seeing it? Now, I get it. Some people are natural pessimists. But the idea is at least leave open the possibility that you actually have a fair amount of liquid in that glass.
I love the story. It's a great metaphor, and I'm sure you've heard it. But there's a pile of horse manure. And
Mm.
one little kid walks over it and goes, look at all that poop, ew, and walks away. And another little kid goes over and starts digging through it. And the parent is saying, like, what are you doing, honey? She goes, well, with all this poop, there must be a pony in here somewhere.
I like that. Aw.
So you can look at life as a pile of poop.
Right.
That's gross. Or you could say there must be a pony in here somewhere.
There must be a pony in there somewhere. So that's your choice. What's under the poop? Because it actually could be something pretty great. I
Right on.
remember I had a relative who like they used to get how they packed Christmas gifts was interesting, where they would put like the real gift underneath several layers of other stuff. So you'd get through like the first layer of wrapper and you'd have like a box of like cough drops. And then you'd get through another layer. So you'd have like all this like random stuff that really wasn't a gift you wanted for Christmas till you finally got to the heart of what was the gift.
That's fun.
So keep digging. There's good at that bottom.
The other way, I think, and we can like throw your best way of leveling up your mind. For me, I think remembering that there are things in life to be grateful for. So thinking of 5 things I'm grateful for, or writing down 10 things I'm grateful for every morning and every night really shifts your attention from what's wrong, what's gonna go wrong, what
Mm-hmm.
you're afraid of, to, hey, you know what? I have gratitude for lots of different things.
Absolutely.
Can you think of another tool besides gratitude practice?
Um, that's why I like the journaling because it keeps you because it's hard to remember all the things in our lives. So the
Yeah.
idea is, in addition to the gratitude, think about a moment where you were worried how something would turn out and it actually turned out well.
Ooh, okay. I love that. And I've also heard this is a good time of year to kind of think about this. I've also heard that people keep like a gratitude or a prayers answered can or jar.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really wanted something and it turned out so great. They write that down and they put it in a jar. And when they're feeling blue and stuck and kind of like nothing's going to work out, you can just reach in and randomly read about something that was like a miracle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
keep in mind that it can be answered in ways you least expect. You might be
Yes.
expecting it has to come this way, but it might come in a package that you least expect.
Oh,
Be
so true.
be open to where it comes from.
Oh, so true. Yes, because let's say you want a miracle. Let's just choose something random, like you would like an extra $1,000. Maybe you get it from your job. Maybe you get it from a garage sale. Maybe you
Right.
get from a friend gifting you money.
Right.
Maybe there's some bill that didn't get paid and suddenly it gets paid and you
You get a
see,
rebate. Yeah.
yeah, there's so many ways. There's not only one way that your good comes to you.
Exactly. So the key is don't limit God, don't limit the universe. Be open to wherever your good comes in.
Right on. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, let's be open to great things happening.
Yes, let's be open to great things happening.
Thank you, Christina. As
Thank you.
always, I love that.
I love our chats too. Thank you so much for your time. And for those listening and watching us, thank you for your time.
Yeah, follow, like this, all the things.
Yes, sounds